Hey everyone, this is Herc, and in today's video I want to go over the tagging and grouping features of Project Supremacy v3. Now these two features were incorporated because the goal of Project Supremacy v3 is to make everything that you do with your WordPress management more efficient, quicker, and easier for you to do. So tagging becomes very, very important because once it's set up, you'll be able to easily manage all of your websites in bulk with just a few clicks. So let's head over into Project Supremacy and we will look at the tagging and grouping features. Okay, here we are inside of the central dashboard of Project Supremacy v3, and I am on the Websites tab where it is displaying a list of all the websites that I have the ability to manage. So tagging your websites is one of the first things that you should do when you have a website loaded into the dashboard. So that's going to be done through the Manage Tags. Okay, so all you have to do is click on the Manage Tags and this will show up empty for you. But what I like to do when I first come in here is I like to create 3 different types of tags. The first type of tag that I do for every website is what type of website is it? I have all those tags in orange. So is it an AdSense site? Is it an affiliate site, a client, a lead gen site, possibly a private blog network or a PBN site? I will create a tag for each individual type of site. And in order to create the tag, all we have to do is this. You go to the create tag and then you give the tag a name. So we'll call this for now type of website. Okay. And then we can give it a color orange. Okay. And there is a URL field, but I'll show you what that's useful for more than on the tag type. Then I can click save. Okay. And your first tag will show up and you can see type of website is now a tag that we can use to tag a website. So number 1 is the type of site. The next type of tag that I like to add is in the blue group. You can see all these blue tags, and that is a tag that tells me where this particular website is hosted. So let's say we create a tag, okay, and it's going to be named web host name, okay, and then I'll make that a blue tag. Okay, and then finally in the URL part, I can actually create a URL, and typically what I do is create a URL straight to the login page of that particular web host, and I'll show you why that's useful in a second. So once again, first type of tag is the type of website. The second type of tag is the hosting account of that website, and then finally the third type of tag, which I put in green, is the registrar of the website. So I like to do this for every single site as I'm adding them. And then what I end up with, okay, is a list of 3 types: type, host, and registrar. To make the tag load onto the website, all we have to do is to drag the tag over. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go over to a website that doesn't have any tags, and I'll do that using one of my default tags, which I'll cover in a second. So I'm going to go to the not tag tag, meaning show me all the websites that don't have tags on them, which is typically, this is what you're going to see when you first add a website. It won't have any of those tags. So now I'm going to click on Manage Tags, and I'm going to add tags to this site, Printer Repair Edmonton. I know that this is a lead gen site, so I'm going to add the type of site. I know this is hosted on my server POM, so I'll add the host, and then I'm going to add the tag for where that particular domain was registered. All I have to do is drag the tags across and then go ahead and click save, and now my website has tags loaded onto it. So now what I end up with for each of my websites is a quick and easy way to see, okay, what type of site is this, where is this hosted, and where is it registered for every single website. It creates a nice little view for every website. But the better thing is now back to the URLs. When we created our tags for our hosting account and for our registered, we included a URL. So why do I do that? Because if I ever need to fix a problem with Lollipop Lustkill, it's typically going to be a problem with the host, or it's going to be a problem with the registrar that I want to be able to access quickly. So for Lollipop Lustkill, I can select the tag and it's clickable because I included a URL. When I click it, it takes me right to the login window of that particular site, or if I'm already logged in, it'll actually take me straight in like you saw there. Same thing for the registrar. If I need to go check on anything with the registrar, I can click it and it will take me right to the login screen of the registrar. That becomes super useful and super fast. So now, the next thing I want to talk about is the default tags that everyone will have in their account. Before they ever create their own tag, you'll have 4 default tags. So what those are, okay, and you already saw the first one, is the not tagged tag, okay? So all that means is when you click this tag, it means please filter out the sites and show me all the ones that haven't been tagged yet so that I can go ahead and create a tag for them. This becomes very useful when you have a lot of sites and maybe 1 or 2 or 3 of them aren't tagged, and rather than have to go through all your sites one by one to find them, you just click the not tagged tag and it will bring those sites up so that you can tag them. Okay. The next tag is the indexation tag. So if we check the indexations for all your sites, so I'm going to go ahead and click on not indexed, and this is an indexation check in Google. One of the things you'll see here is this Google indexation, and let me clear the tag so I can show you more properly. You can see this site is indexed, this site is indexed, but this site right now is not indexed. So if you quickly want to look at all your sites that aren't indexed, we can click on tags, we can go to not indexed, make it filter by that tag, and now I know 14 of my sites are not indexed, and I can start doing a research process into why they aren't indexed and try and go in and save those indexations. There might be a similarity within a host, or there might be a similarity within a registrar or something like that. So I can always check that very, very quickly. Okay, and if I even wanted to take it one step further, I can actually add another filter, but I'll get into filtering in a second. So the third type of tag, okay, other than the indexation, is the deactivated tag. So let me clear my tags. Okay, and we'll click on the deactivated tag. Now what this is going to tell me is when your plugin that you have installed on your WordPress blog is having communication issues with the default or with the V3 application, with the central dashboard. So these 10 websites are having communication problems. So now I know these are websites that are having issues. I can go into each one and be like, oh, I know this one's hacked because I added a hack tag for that one. But if it was maybe a hosting issue, I would know where to go to check out the host. Or if it was a registrar issue, I would know where to get the registrar and go log in quickly. It creates a very fast way for you to be able to efficiently manage your problem sites that are having deactivated versions of WordPress or of Project Supremacy v3. So to fix that, because now there's no longer communication, you simply need to access the site, the WordPress admin, the original way we've always done things with www.domain/wp-admin. So like for instance, I'll go to mems.org, I'll open that in a new tab, and I can see this account for now has been suspended. So that's obviously the issue there. With chord progressions, I can open that in a new window. Okay. And you can see that this site is down on HostGator for some reason. I actually hate HostGator. And I know right now that these sites are down because I have one HostGator account that has been hacked. I'm in the process of moving all my sites. And you can see it's HostGator 3102, HostGator 3102, HostGator 3102. So I know that that's the problem. That's the third tag. The next tag and final of the 4 tags that are default tags is the outdated version. So the outdated version of what? It's actually the outdated version of Project Supremacy. So on each of your sites, you can see we have a v.3039, or you'll see some number. And it'll either be in black, the lettering will be in black, meaning that is the most recent version of the plugin, or it will be in red, meaning there is an update available. Now, Project Supremacy v3 will auto-update itself on a cron every 24 hours. So the sites that I'm seeing right now that are on v3.9, I'm not too worried about it because I know that within the next 24 hours, the cron job will run and the site will update itself. However, if I want to update the plugin right now, all I have to do is click on the manual update, and that will make sure to update the plugin right away. The other ways that I can update the plugin, obviously, so there you can see it update itself. The other way I can update the plugin, obviously, is log into WordPress, update the plugin, or I can actually log into the individual website management for this particular site. Okay. And that will take me in here. I can go to plugins and I can see that there's a version update available, and I can click update to update that plugin. So there's always many ways to do things. So those are the 4 default tags that you'll see everywhere: not tagged, not indexed, deactivated, and an outdated version of Project Supremacy v3. So once you have all your tags set up, okay, you've done all this work where you've created the 3 main types: the type of site, where it's hosted, where it's registered. You entered your URLs so that your tags are clickable and you have an easy access to everything. And now you also have an easy way to remember where everything is hosted and registered, because if you're anything like me and you have hundreds of websites, you're typically going to be keeping that information on a spreadsheet somewhere and then constantly updating a spreadsheet. Whereas with V3, it's much, much easier. It's much, much faster, and you have the quick access points. Now, once you're set up, you have the ability to work efficiently and quickly while managing multiple websites at a time. So for instance, let's say I want to create a filter now based on tags. I only want to see how many PBNs do I have and what's going on with my PBNs. So I can click the PBN tag, and you can see now my total websites have been filtered down and showing 109 out of 176 websites. These are all my PBNs, so I have a quick ability to scroll through all my PBNs, look for any issues, and quickly correct them. Now, if I wanted to add a second level tag, okay, we can not just add a single tag, but I could say, okay, let me see all my PBNs that are hosted on Easy Blog Networks. Let's see what those look like. Okay, so now I can click that, and you can see it's filtered down even further to show 38 out of 176 websites. So I know that I have 38 websites on Easy Blog Networks, and I can even go verify that with Easy Blog Networks itself. I can log into Easy Blog Networks, obviously, very quickly. Okay, I just click on the tag, and then it'll take me, and I can see 43 sites, and here I can see 38. So why do I have more in Easy Blog Networks than I do in my Project Supremacy? It could be for a few reasons. Maybe I haven't added those PBNs to Project Supremacy yet. Maybe there's a connection issue, but with this ability, I have the ability to easily find out why there's things going wrong with each of my sites. So what I want to show you now is the and or feature. So right now what we have is the and feature turned on, this little switch. You can see I can switch it to and I can switch it to or. What that's going to allow me to do is use either all tags must be present or any of the tags must be present. So for instance, right now I have it set to and what it means is show me all of my sites that are PBNs and hosted on Easy Blog Networks. I can even take that a level further. Okay, I can add a third tag and add a registrar like name.com. So now what it's saying is show me all the PBNs that are hosted on Easy Blog Networks and they're on name.com. So I know I have 21 websites with that type of setup. Now, however, if I switch this over to or, you can see my websites have now shot up to 147. What this means is show me all my PBNs or show me all my sites that have that are hosted on Easy Blog Networks or they're on name.com, meaning it needs to have any of these tags but not all of these tags. Okay, and these become very, very useful filters when you need to see certain groups of sites or certain setups. So once you have your filtering set up, okay, and you understand how filtering works, that allows you to start doing amazing things really, really quickly with bulk management. So for instance, let's say I have a plugin that I would like to add to a bunch of websites. So what I can do, okay, I can set this to and I'm going to create a filter set. Okay, I have a certain plugin that I want to upload to all my PBNs, but specifically Easy Blog Networks. Okay, so I can load those, make sure and is on, and I have 38 websites that fit that criteria. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Switch View. Okay, and this takes me to a new screen where I'm going to be able to manage those sites. So what the first thing I'm going to do is show you on the left, there's the list of sites. Right now we're only displaying 10. We're going to up that to 100 so we get the max because I know there's 38 sites I need to work with. And then of course there's a bunch of information for each of these things. On the right side you can see it's the manage window. We can manage themes in bulk, plugins in bulk, or even the tags on each of those websites in bulk. So we're going to do plugins for now. So the first thing I'm going to do is now that I have all the websites loaded, I'm going to select them to be edited. So I'm going to select all websites, and on the manage side you can see there's our 38 websites that are all now displayed. So it's going to show me on the manage side is all the themes. When I'm on the themes tab here, it's going to show me all the themes for all those sites that these sites have. The next thing I can do is click over to plugins, and this is where I typically get the most of my work done. Okay, I can go down and scroll, and you can see something like Spider Spanker Nuke is installed on 38 out of 38 sites. Okay, which is great. I use Spider Spanker on every site. So then I can open up the Spider-Spanker Nuke plugin and I can see what site it is, whether the plugin is activated or not, and what the version of the plugin is. So I might need to update that plugin, or I might need to delete it, or maybe the plugin is missing and I need to add it. So let's say, for instance, I wanted to add a plugin to this group of sites. Okay, so now I can go to upload plugins, okay, and I can search the WordPress repository. So say maybe I want to add Google XML sitemaps. I can search WordPress repository for that. Okay, and I can click install now, and that will add Google XML sitemaps to all those sites. But typically with PBNs, I usually know that I have a certain group of plugins that I want to add. So what I can do is go to the My Plugins tab. Okay, and what these are is certain plugins that I use very, very often. There's an area in V3 that I'll show you in a second that you can actually store plugins that you know you're going to use all the time. And it's kind of like your own personal plugin vault. So what I can do now is say, okay, I want to add this plugin, this plugin, this plugin, and so forth. I can choose any amount of plugins that I want. So I have 4 selected. This will now, and then if I click on add to queue, what this will do is add these 4 plugins to this specific set of sites. So I can add 4 plugins to 38 websites, okay, with just a few clicks of a button. Whereas in the old way that we had to do things, I would have to log into each of these websites one at a time and upload those plugins one at a time. Whereas with V3, you add your sites to V3, you create the proper tags, you filter your sites out by the tags, then you group upload plugins or themes to your set of filtered out sites. It makes things much faster and much more efficient. But then finally we took things one level further and we created plugin groups, and that relates back to the plugin vault that I just mentioned earlier. So let's head over there. If we go to our settings and then we go to my plugins and themes, what this is your own personal vault of plugins or themes that you like to use all the time, and this becomes a quick access point. So you can see I have a bunch of plugins here. Now there's a couple ways to upload plugins to your vault. Number one, once you have the plugin downloaded, you can click the upload button and it will upload that plugin into your vault. The other way that you can do it is if you go into any individual website. So say for instance this one, I can go into the single website manager and go to the plugins. Now I can add a new plugin from WordPress repository, okay, search for it and add it. Once it's added, for instance, like say Easy 404 redirect, I can click on this little icon here and that will download this plugin into our vault, which means it came from WordPress into our website, and now we're going to move it from our website into our vault so that we can use it on any of our sites quickly. So those are the 2 ways to add plugins into your plugin vault. And once you have a bunch of plugins, now we're going to do to plugins what we did to our websites, where we're going to create certain types of groups. So let's say, for instance, I'm going to open up our plugin groups. Okay, and now we can create groups. So say, for instance, I want to create a certain set of plugins that I like to upload to all my money sites. So I'm going to create a group called money sites, okay? And then we can create a color for that. And obviously we would want to do something like a green because that means money, okay? And then I'll click OK, right? And now I have to select the plugins that I would like to add to my money site. So we'll add an AMP plugin. We'll add a stat counter plugin. We'll obviously add, let's go down to Google XML sitemaps, and we'll add Spider-Spanker to block all that bad traffic, okay? And let's say those are the plugins that I really like to add to all my money sites when I'm setting them up. So now I can click Save Group, okay? And you can see certain plugins starting to show up with colorful tags, right? So you can see I have other groups in here. I have a money site group, I have a PBN setup group, I have a SERP tech group, which is a mass site builder software that we have. And if I wanted to edit any of these groups, let's say later on I have a new plugin that I like, or maybe a plugin I no longer like, I can click on the group, okay? And you can see here's the plugins I like. Let's say I want to remove a plugin. Maybe I have a better version of Google XML sitemaps and I want to remove it. I can do that and click Save, and that will edit it. I can always add things back very, very easily as well. The right side is the plugins you're adding to your group. The left side is the available plugins you have to add to your group, or I can also delete the group. So we're just going to save that group. So now once you have all your plugins kind of grouped, just like you had your websites grouped, let me show you why this becomes very, very nice. So if we go back to our websites, okay, and then what I'm going to do is click on tags, okay, and now this time I'm going to click on my let's say an AdSense site. Let me load up my sites that I make money with AdSense on. You can see there's a bunch of them that need help because they're on that hacked HostGator server. But what I can do is now click on switch view. Okay, select all the websites. Let's actually make sure we select. Oh, there's only 4 available because these ones are needing an update due to the hack. So what I'll do is I'll just select those 4. Okay, and now I'm going to go over to the plugins tab. Okay, and then I'm going to upload plugins, but this time I'm going to go to my plugins tab and I'm going to select plugins by the group. Now I'm going to select money sites, and you can see it will auto select the plugins that I've already said I wanted for my money site. So rather than having to search through your list of plugins, you just select the money site group and it will select those plugins for you. And then I can click add to queue and it will add those 4 plugins to those 4 sites. So 16 plugins will be added in total from one spot with simply a few clicks. Okay, it makes it very, very fast for you to do that. The other place I can do this, and the final thing I want to show you, is if I go into any site on the single manage website side. Okay, I can go to my plugins and I can see the list of plugins that I already have installed on this site, what's active, what's not active, everything like that. But if I go to the add new plugin, once again, I can go to my plugins and I can select plugins by group, and I can select money sites, or actually this one's a PBN, so I'd select PBN plugins. And what it will do is select the PBN plugins that are not already on the site, and the ones that are, you can see they're flagged. That means they're already installed. So a couple of those are tagged as PBNs, but since they're already installed, it only selects the ones that are not installed. So from this point, all I have to do is click start uploading and it will upload those PBNs to this particular site. So that's the purpose, guys, of creating tags within your sites and then also creating like tag groups for your plugins. It just gives you the ability to work much, much faster and much more efficiently when you are managing a lot of WordPress sites. So hopefully you guys like this video. Hopefully you guys like the features of Project Supremacy V3. As always, please leave your comments and questions below. I love the feedback and I'll make sure to answer all your questions. Otherwise, have a great day. And if you guys want to grab Project Supremacy V3, if you don't already have it, I'd be glad to welcome you into our software community, and we will talk to you soon.